I have taken all I can take from the world of EA Sports roster editing. We need to pick things back up with Das Kraken. Currently, again, in a pretty decent spot. 14-9-2. Take a look at the yield standings here. Again, right now, 1 through 8 makes the playoffs. We would technically be in. Basically, what we have to do right now is just sim a little bit. Sim the month. And hope that we find ourselves in the playoffs at the end of it. That really is the best thing that we can do here. I'm going to move myself back over here. So less is cut off. And hopefully this team proves that they're, you know, worth building around. Otherwise, we can sell if we have to. Still have a pretty sweet team. Patrick Laine, of course. Alex Ovechkin. I don't like seeing Jake Ottinger up there in terms of a low goals against average after how he accidentally left the team. Jared McIsaac was claimed on waivers. That's why we normally go day to day, because if I sim more than day to day, for some reason I'm not getting alerts about that. That kind of sucks, but I don't even know if we have space for him. Vancouver claimed him off of waivers over. We are in season 3, as the title mentions. Furman, what's going on, by the way? Yeah, minimum of 3-star. I'm supposed to get a warning about that, but what are you gonna do? Oh, Zexus. The junior highlights are always pretty solid. Nashville is next. Big 3-1 win. 15-11-2. I mean, again, we're in a pretty good spot. The Canucks are, I mean, yeah, the Canucks are pretty good. Ryan Tverberg for Kale Clegg. Blockbuster there. What a deal. Arizona tonight, Anaheim tomorrow. Big 7-4 win over the Yotes. Problem is, man, Edmonton and Calgary both over 40 points already. I don't really like our chances of competing in this division. See Anaheim the next day. 4-0 loss. Not great. Not great. Jamie Drysdale's apparently been roughed up. Zach Hyman as well. We have Winnipeg next. 6-3 loss. Trying to get a read on where this team is going to be. Again, middle of December right now. I don't really know where we're going to be. Patrick Laine is going to be out day to day. David Pastrnak hits 600 career points. How long is Laine going to be out for? I know it said day to day. Don't want to put him on the IR. Be out for a little bit too long. Drysdale's healthy. He'll be back in against Dallas, I'm sure. Andrew Peak has left the Blue Jackets. And Philip Berglund has left Edmonton. Nobody we're interested in. Another back-to-back. It's Dallas and Colorado. We beat Dallas 4-3. Kalen Addison's been suspended for 4 games. It's not good. Colorado's next, and it is a 3-0 shutout win. Good stuff. Saville up there in save percentage. Hoegberg up there for wins. I mean, yeah, Grave, it's probably the one thing that'll save us is the 1-8 model. I mean, right now we're in 7th, 3 points above Minnesota with a game at hand. But the question we have is whether or not this team is worth adding to for the playoffs. Like, we're getting some fantastic goaltending. A lot of middle-of-the-road performances. Boone Jenner Chevrolet is our worst player defensively, and it's not even close. Yeah, a lot of middle-of-the-road performances right now, especially from some of our younger guys who have made their debut this season. Still too early to call, though. We'll keep marching on. See how everything shakes out before we make that decision as to whether or not we're going to add to the team because, I mean, if we really wanted to, we could go all out. Pour myself some Palmer here. We could go all out and just stack this team, but obviously that's not worth it for long-term success. Let's see, Riley Tufte traded from Colorado to Toronto for a third. It's like a bit of an overpayment there for Toronto, to be honest. Dude, we have another back-to-back. This schedule is brutal. We lose to Colorado. It's Minnesota next. Brutal schedule. Jesus. What the hell, man? Jack Capuano back on the bench. He's in Carolina. Good chance he's going to get fired. See what happens here against Minnesota. Lost that too. AJ, that's a hell of a mask. I'll give him that. Sidney Crosby hits 1,250 games played at 36 years old. It's funny because, or it's not funny, but I mean, January 1st was what, 10-year anniversary, I think, of his major concussion issues starting. The injury in the Winter Classic. And man, I still remember that like it was yesterday. There was legitimate concern, like he might be done. Alex Ovechkin out for 6 weeks. MCL sprain. Gino hits 500 goals, and Jay O'Brien's been traded for a third. So we are without Ovi for a considerable amount of time. That is enough, certainly, to put him on IR. And then looking at the team, I mean, we have Gusev and Hyman for depth, so we should be okay. And again, we have PK Subban in the minors, who has 23 points in 30 AHL games. He's way too good, but we just didn't want to drop Nikita Hotyuk for no reason after picking him up on waivers. So let's see how we do without Alex Ovechkin. That's a scary proposition. We have another goddamn back-to-back. Carolina and Anaheim. Merry Christmas, by the way. Yeah, Merry Christmas to me. Here's a fucking back-to-back. Also, we're playing on Christmas. This isn't the NBA. World Juniors start today. Germany, Belarus, Canada, Sweden, and Russia. Group B, Slovakia, Norway, Finland, the US, and the Czech Republic. So the German squad looks like this. Obviously, there won't be any notable names at this point for the most part, but their top potential player is David Matisse, who's playing in Ontario. So an LA Kings prospect. Dusty, what's up? They also have Julian Lutz, who's playing in the DEL2, 24 points in 18 games. So Germany right now, 8th ranked. Wouldn't expect much from them. Belarus. Honestly, Belarus isn't looking that bad. Alexander Shaka. 3-star prospect. Alexander Chanka, I don't even know. Alexander Haravoy. Yegor Rimashevsky, Bogdan Saluyanov. And Jan Bermestrenikov. Jesus, I butchered that one. 13th ranked Belarus, and they made the World Juniors. Not bad. Not bad at all. Canada. Led by Connor Bedard, so a familiar name there. It's 22 points in 21 games with Regina. Also have Paul Ludwinski, Spencer Sova, Austin Zemlak, Michael Mastro Domenico, who was one of our prospects. This is probably one of the final few years that we'll have recognizable prospects in the World Juniors. Nathan Morin, Andrew LeBlanc, Adam Fantilli. I mean, Canada's stacked. They're the #1 team, obviously, and yeah. It's tough to see them losing. Their lowest rated player is a 1.5-star goalie for Drummondville, Riley Mercer. That's going to be a tough team to beat. Sweden. Ooh. Noah Ostlund. 30 points in 40 games in the AHL. Now they also have Elias Solomonson, Lindstein, Johan Lundgren. So, I mean, Sweden's not bad. 4th ranked right now. It's a pretty solid team. Obviously, they don't quite match the Canadians, but very respectable team. They'll make it through the group stage. And then the Russians with Ivan Miroshnichenko. leading the way. He's also been playing in the AHL. Alexander Legkov, Alexander Zaitsev. The Russians have a pretty damn good team, too. They're currently 3rd ranked, so I feel incredibly sorry for Belarus and Germany. They're going to get pooped on. And in Group B, Slovakia is okay, led by Simon Nemec, Jakub Kromiak, who belongs to us, Dalibor Dvorsky, Alex Siernik. So we have a couple of players on the Slovakian team. Teammates in, teammates in Siernik and Kromiak there. Juraj Slavkovsky, also up there. So that's not too bad. I like that we have a couple of players on the roster. Norway is going to have a very bad time. They have Michael Branseg Nygaard. They have Martin Janssen. Aliu Moldal Bah. What a name. And Lars Petter Ekholm. That team is going to suck. Wow. Finland. Jesus. All right. Topi Hrani is playing in the ECHL. Joachim Kamel also there. Aaron Kiviharju, Emil Yaraventi, Mika Rosenberg. Finland's not too bad. Currently the 5th ranked team. The United States, probably the team that gives Canada the best run for their money, but I think this is Canada's to win. Quinn Finley, Dylan Duke, Rutger McRorty, Michael Stenberg, Frank Nazar leading the way for the Americans. Yeah, this is Canada's to win, go figure. And for the Czech Republic, decent team, but I don't expect too much. Karol Prokorny is there, Dominic Peter, who is a prospect of ours. So we have a decent amount of prospects in the World Juniors. We'll keep an eye on it. Kamel on Finland is a real player, yes. Someone who's been kind of hanging around the top 5 of his draft year for a decent amount of time. And we've used him in a couple of series, done it. As we beat Anaheim, Gusev's improving at center, which is interesting that that's where our coach is running him, but hey, whatever works. Heading into 2024, which is going to be here sooner rather than later, IRL, and that is incredibly scary. Matt Duchene hits 500 career assists. It's not too bad. How many players in the NHL all time have 500 career assists? Something I want to look at. If I go to NHL, and I go to stats. No, I go to NHL and I go to history. Player index. Assists. Okay, so a shitload of people have hit at least 500 assists. A shitload, because there's Duchene. And then this, like, Connor McDavid's hit it. Obviously, there are some players here who wouldn't have hit it IRL. Kucherov, Ben, Letang. Shitload of players have hit 500 assists. So, Matt, it's special, but is it that special? I don't know. It's still pretty cool. 38 games played. We have our December scouting update. Looks like we have everybody projected to go in the first round scouted. Then we get the player poll results. Nathan McKinnon voted best skater. Brant Clark with the hardest shot. Claude Giroux the smartest. Ross Johnston the toughest. Connor McDavid the fastest. Also the best role model. Marcus Nudivar the cleanest player. John Gibson the toughest goalie to beat. And again, Bruce Cassidy, the coach you'd most like to play for. Dusty, yes, I do plan on doing that. There's a lot of videos I want to make and just not enough time to make them, unfortunately. I like doing the GM trade histories. I like doing the old video game type of stuff. I like doing current franchise modes. Like, there's just not enough time to make all the videos I want to make, unfortunately. I wish. I think the only way I could possibly make everything I want to make is if I, like, live streamed everything, didn't find myself in a relationship, stuff like that. Dev reports here, good improvement for aversion. Looking for more than 2, though. Patrick Laine improving as a team player. We're looking for those elusive +3s, +4s. There we go. Jan Seacart, big time +4. Dominic Peter with a +3. Ovi lost a point in screening. Gusev in acceleration. Gabriel Landeskog and Sam Montembeault, players of the month. And PK Subban won Player of the Month down in the AHL. He is obviously way too good for that. But we are going to continue to see what the situation is in terms of, are we going to add to this team? Because if we are, we obviously move a certain defenseman and make things happen. Yeah, Snipe. A lot of things have changed about this team. Brad Marchand hits 1,000 games. Doughty 500 assists. We went 5-5-2 in the last month. Draft evaluation from Bob Kilmister. Yuri Konechny is number 1 on his list. Interesting. And new nationalities here. Victor Hedman can now play for the U.S. Victor Hedman can now play for the U.S. if he were to so choose. Nice. Imagine. Imagine. Okay, so still without Ovi here. We do lose to Philly. What about with what's going on here with Vancouver? This is going to be, so we do beat Vancouver 1-0. That's going to bring us to 41 games, the midway point of the season. Group stage of the World Juniors has come to a close. Let's go to World Select Tournament. World Junior Championship. Standings. So in the group stage, Russia won a perfect 4-0. Canada at 3-1-1. Everyone won at least a game in every group. The U.S. topped Group 2. So it is going to be Russia, Norway, Finland, Germany, the U.S. and Sweden, Canada, and the Czech Republic. So it's Belarus and Slovakia that ultimately miss out. Belarus scoring 8 goals, though, so eat your heart out. Austria, in comparison to what they did IRL. So we've hit the midway point of the season. Yeah, Snipe, they've really turned the corner. Let's take a look at the team. Actually, let's take a look at the standings first and foremost. Right now, we're the 8th seed in the playoffs. $44 points. For whatever reason, the point totals here look kind of fucked. Look by division, now they're properly sorted. Yeah, right now it does have us as the 8th seed. So barely on the fringe here. And on the fringe is not where we want to be by deadline day. Goaltending has been the big plus for us here. Boone Jenner has been awful defensively. So we have some, great player in Saville. Hoegberg's been really good. Nicoletti's been good. Good performance as well from Carlson, OEL, and Line. Decent from like Rossi down to Kalen Addison. But just a lot of average. A lot of average from the rest of the team. As it stands, I'm leaning towards selling a little bit. Unless this team can really prove that a couple of additions would boost us into actually being competitive, there's no reason to not sell. As Oliver Ekman-Larsson hits 1,000 games played in his career. So yeah, that's the big question right now, is whether or not this team can start stringing together wins. I mean, we are without Ovi. Oh, Snipe, I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to make you wait it out. I'm going to make you wait it out. Nolan Foote is on waivers. Only 3 stars at this point. Can I put a claim in on Nolan Foote? I cannot. I accidentally skipped too many days. Let's see. Pittsburgh here. Big 3-0 win. It's the second best team in their division. And it is official. The United States wins the World Juniors. Surprising. Thought that was Canada's to win. Russia beat Norway 4-3. Finland beat Germany 9-0. The U.S. beat Sweden 5-4. Canada beat the Czechs 6-3. Then in round 2, Finland beat Russia 4-3. The U.S. beat Canada 5-1. And the U.S. beat Finland 3-2 in the final. Canada beat Russia 5-2. So it's always a battle between the U.S. and Canada. And whoever wins that matchup typically goes on to win it all. And the U.S. does it again over the Canadians as we lose to division-leading Vegas. Again, a 1-8 playoff format. A better format as compared to what the NHL actually does in real life to this point. Might benefit us, but maybe not by enough. Like I said, as it stands, Sasha Barkov's going to be out for a month. That's what you get for going to a different team when he could have signed here. Oh boy. Let's just go next day again. Continue. We got a game coming up against Dallas. I didn't check to see, as a bunch of suspensions are coming to an end. When is the deadline? February 24th. Happy birthday to me. So we have about a month still to prove a point that we deserve a chance here, but not banking on it. Let's just hit sim to the deadline. We'll see what happens. Happy 30th birthday. Ugh. Let's not say that ever again until it's actually time. Alright, Donna? Please and thank you. Jesus. Jesus. Oh, God. Let's see, Nathan McKinnon hits 500 assists. Philip Larson has left Detroit. Jesper Salgren's left Winnipeg. Colin Delia leaves St. Louis. 1,000 games there for Logan Couture. Patrick Kane hits 1,250 games as well. As it stands right now, we're on the outside looking in. We are on the outside looking in. Indeed, Hobo, if you don't want spoilers, now's the time to go. But this has been the time that I've been recording these episodes has been live on the Twitch. So, Bill Guerin might get fired. Nick Backstrom also hitting a ridiculous milestone. It's January 19th. Can this team find themselves in a playoff spot, or are we going to blow it up? Not like blow it up, but sell off some pieces. Scott Pellerin takes over for Sheldon Keefe as the head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. It is Keefe's Leafs no more. And the mid-season draft rankings. North American skaters. Looks like Dylan Duke, of course, on top, as well as Braden Dubé. Also have someone like Cole Iserman again, who's still looking pretty decent. If we look at the rankings here, it is actually Jeremy LaChance, who was the #1 ranked North American skater for whatever reason. We're going to add a couple of these dudes to the watch list. Did Dylan Duke have a big injury? I'll take a look at it here. I just kind of zoned past it, I guess. What was the injury to one Dylan Duke? Ooh, ruptured Achilles. Yes, that's the Carlson injury. I could see why that would hurt the draft stock. North American goalies, there is one guy who is head and shoulders above the rest. It's 5'11", Giulio Anastasi. 5'11" goalie. Somewhere Darren Pang is incredibly excited and he doesn't know why. A lot of other goalies here. Nobody is going to be anywhere close to NHL ready. On the European side, top skaters, or at least the #1 ranked, is Yuri Konechny. You also have Lundgren and Yngve up there. That's a hell of a name. And what about for European goaltenders here? It is clearly Maxim Luначarski. 6'4", more of a traditional height, of course, for a goalie in the modern NHL. So a lot of players there, of course, I'd love to have scouted out, but that is okay. Let's see what else we got here. A couple of suspensions, some player improvements. Again, how long is Ovi out for? Another 1 to 2 weeks. So this team has to prove, basically, without Alex Ovechkin here, that they're worth banking on in the playoffs. Let's see. Ethan Keppen for a second. Bold strategy. If Ethan Keppen's fetching a second rounder, we're definitely leaning towards shopping some players. Definitely. Big loss to Buffalo. Big loss to Anaheim. Isaiah Saville right now is 3rd in the league in save percentage. Ottinger's first, though. God, what a mistake that was. What a goddamn mistake that was to accidentally let him go. Jesus. Heading into February. Currently 6th in the Pacific. Gonna be on the outside looking in here. I think we have our answer. This team isn't ready. Hedman hits 1,000 games. Zach McEwen for Gunnar Wolf Fontaine. Hugh McGing claimed off of waivers. Yakov Trenin for Landon Donner. And the scouting update, Dylan Duke, still our number 1. So looking here then. Yeah, we're down at 13th. 7 points out of the playoffs. Even if we add to this team in a major way, it's not going to be enough. Now's the time to pull the plug on some veteran leadership here and see what we can get. So let's do it. Hate to say it, but Cam Atkinson's 34 years old, making almost $6 million for the rest of this year and next. 2-1 Cam Atkinson. What can we get for you? I actually can't shop him because he has a no movement. Who's on an expiring deal then? We'll still probably look to shop Atkinson. Let's see, the cap floor is 60, so I gotta be careful here. Let's go for... Actually, Zach Hyman's just been a middle-of-the-road player this year, as has Beauvillier. So, I mean, I like Zach Hyman a lot, but let's just shop him. He's been middle of the road. He's been nothing special. We get a 4th rounder. 4th rounder. I'd prefer it from Toronto since they've been bad. Dallas would give us a 4th rounder. Toronto's more valuable. Pittsburgh would give us a 4th. Toronto's more valuable. It looks like we might be sending Zach Hyman back to Toronto for a 4th round pick. Yep, even Arizona's is a little bit more valuable here. Like, that is the deal. It is sending Zach Hyman back to Toronto for a 4th round pick. The only thing I'm gonna do... I was tempted to, actually I'm gonna do that. And I didn't mean sneeze. Let's go to manager options, put on commish mode, and negotiate this a little bit. And I would like to retain 50% salary and see if they're interested in a 3rd rounder instead. I have to wait for an answer. You know, I'm good with the 4th. Just a 4th round pick. Instead, they, I retain a little bit of salary on Hyman. No reason to not do it. Let's go ahead and complete this deal. We're going to send Zach Hyman to Toronto for a 4th round pick. There's really not much of a market for him, but ultimately it makes sense to move him. He's not doing much for us. He probably wouldn't be back anyway. Let's at least get something for him. And the other player I was looking at here, Nikita Gusev, I'm just done with. He has been nothing but average. He has 4 points in 33 games. Definitely get whatever the hell we can for him. Which looks like a 5th rounder from Toronto. Jacka Khan. Good old Jacka Khan, who's not that good. Jesper Lindgren, it's going to be a no. Defenseman Noah Meyer, 2.5 star, or a 5th rounder from Toronto. It's a tough call. Josh Anderson, that's a big no. Lucas Kuhn, that's also a big no. Sawyer Mino? Or Keith Yandel. So it's a 5th round pick or this random 18-year-old defenseman from San Jose. He's got 2.5 star potential. It's probably better than what we could get for the 5th rounder. The Seattle T-Birds. He's actually played 8 games for the Sharks this year. Nothing special at all. They're saying he could end up being as good as Cam Fowler is now. We'll take him. Hobo, yes they are. Yeah, let's see if we can take this deal, and again, I will retain a 50% salary here on Gusev. Actually, no, I might have to retain 50% on someone who makes more. So, let's go ahead and take this. We will finalize that deal as well. And the third dude, we are going to look to shop at the moment. Again, we can't shop Cam Atkinson. Nick Leddy's been really good. He's only 32. Who's making the most? Line is making 8. I'm not allowed to shop Atkinson. Boone Jenner hasn't been that great, but it is Boone Jenner Chevrolet. Honestly, Jenner hasn't been that great, and at a 3.5 star value, we need to shop Jenner to see what we can get. He's been very average, and a lot of teams are in on him. We could get Tyler Toffoli, which is an obvious no. Jenner does have 27 points in 48 games, Toffoli on 32, but no reason to take that. Sean Corrali, no. Tanner Pearson, no. Tyson Barrie, no. Ross Johnston, no. The ultimate tough guy in Ross Johnston. I mean, the players did just vote him as the toughest to play against in the league, so you know what, maybe we think about it. Mike Amadio, decent, but no. I mean, obviously we're looking to get younger. Oscar Back is someone I'd be intrigued in there from Dallas. Philly with Matthias Ekholm, who we could get back after a couple of years, but I'm going to say no to that. Marcus Pettersson. Honestly, not that bad, but I'd probably say no. Zach Aston Reese. Pretty good in St. Louis, but eh. Casey Middlestat. 36 points in 52 games for Middlestat. Vancouver, Andreas Janssen. Nah. Pelletier. 3.5 star potential. That's an offer there from Calgary. Get a 2nd rounder. Chuchar Kara. Get out of here. Jordan Martinook. 1st rounder from Edmonton. Well, we're definitely moving him. Barrett Hayton. Damn. Sasha Chmielewski. Axel Joie. Jack Bedini. Kevin Hayes, Luke Cunnin, Neil Pionk, Andrew Kopp, and Jordan Greenway. So Barrett Hayton is 23 years old, 3.5 star. Pelletier is 22 years old, 3.5 star. Hayton's only currently a 2 star, so Pelletier is better than Hayton. I'd obviously take Pelletier over Middlestat. And over Oscar Back. So, Chad, it comes down to this. Clearly, it's a 1st rounder from Edmonton. They have 31 wins, 31, 17, and 7, so they're a very good team. A 1st rounder from a good team, or we take Pelletier. It was 22 points in 46 games this season. I think it almost has to be Pelletier. I think he's better than whatever we could look to get, although that extra 1st would really allow us other options. I mean, you look at who's available in this draft. There's only 6 players that we identify as 3.5 star or better. Barring a miracle here, I think it has to be Pelletier. He is still on his ELC. AC for scouting accuracy. Already very good offensively. Top-notch agility. Good positioning. And he's on the last year of his ELC, so we could negotiate that contract. I mean, I think we have to. Won a gold medal at the World Juniors in 2021. Yeah, no, we can't turn that down. So we're going to send Boone Jenner to Calgary for Jakob Pelletier and a 7th. I won't retain salary on Jenner because his deal's not expiring, so that'll be a done deal. Let's take that. No reason to not do that, although for some reason it was an offered trade when it should have just been through. I just gotta let that, I should have just force traded it. I gotta let that go through now. I don't want to cause a glitch or anything. So we'll end up doing that. Pelletier and a 7th for Boone Jenner. In the meantime, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I do need to call up somebody, forward-wise. Ridley Gregg is NHL caliber. Robert Mastro Simone is definitely NHL caliber at 2.5 star. So let's call up Robert Mastro Simone in the meantime, and we'll advance a day. What's up, Shroomish? Define. Oh, Shroomish, I know what you mean. As in, went home. I gotcha. Not sure how long it can be a rock for, because I'm very tired, but it's good stuff. Let's see what happens here. It's a hell of a deal from one Boone Jenner Chevrolet. Jamie Drysdale picks up an injury. It's not great. Developmental report, a couple of +2s already. Marco Rossi, a big +3. Strength, accuracy, and stick checking. Marco Rossi showing the big improvements. Max Nemesnikov with a +3 as well. Not too bad. Trying to wait to hear back about that particular trade, as we do beat Chicago. We went 6-6-1 in that last month. How good's Shane right now? I can check in a minute. Being on a bad Canucks team, I'd guess not very good. Alright, game, come on. They need to get back to me about this fucking email already. You're wasting my time. Thank you. Yeah, of course they said no way. Discuss trade. Well, guess what? Way, because you're the one that offered it to me. Why can't I force trade? They're the ones that offered it to me. Why can't I force trade? Excuse me? Is it a cap issue? It's not a cap issue. Why isn't it letting me force trade? They're the ones that offered this. Dante Fabro for Matthias Mensik. Okay, let me just do this the long way around. Let me go to Kraken. Trade offer. Let me go to Calgary. Kraken players. Oldest. Boone Jenner Chevrolet. Calgary, I will gladly take Jakob Pelletier. And you offered me a 7th. There it is, done deal. Boone Jenner to Calgary. And we end up getting Jakob Pelletier, which is a phenomenal trade for us. A phenomenal trade indeed. And obviously we still have room to wheel and deal here a little bit. Jamie Drysdale is going to be out for 1 to 2 months, so that is a very unfortunate injury for him. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That will allow us though to call up PK, which will be nice. Subban will be on the roster unless I decide to shop him, in which case we could call up Prokop or sign somebody. Let's see who else we got here. So again, just a lot of average performances, and actually, what am I looking for here? It said Minio was on the roster, didn't it? Yeah, this dude. I'm going to loan you to Seattle, to the T-Birds for the rest of the season, because I don't need you. I could indeed sim the next game. No worries. A couple different ways you can sim it, but... Alright, well, clearly, I mean, we've had him as a healthy scratch in the AHL for half the time, so we might as well shop PK and just see what's out there. Jack Gorniak, meh. 4th rounder from Toronto. Duncan Keith at 40. 4th rounder from the Rangers. I mean, again, we might as well look at that Toronto deal right now. That's the best one. Actually, Buffalo's is even better. Vancouver offering a 1.5-star potential defenseman. It's going to be a no. Mike Gilden, he's okay. 4th round from New Jersey. Cade Arenholtz? Nope. Jack Pertz. Ooh, 3-star defenseman Jack Pertz. I like that a lot more than a 4-star, or than a 4th round pick, I should say. I like Jack Pertz as an option a lot. And there is nobody else even. Hello. Okay, we got a forward that can compete. So for PK, it's either Colby, I guess it'd be Saganuk, who has 45 points in 35 games with the Erie Otters, which is phenomenal. Good agility, not so great at anything else right now. He's okay. He's okay. And then Jack Pertz, who has 16 points in 31 games, is actually down in Wichita this season. Really good puck handling for a defenseman, but again, everything else just isn't quite there yet. So a defenseman or a forward? I mean, honestly, we're set up pretty well with both positions. Another defenseman, though, might not be the worst thing in the world. Let's go defenseman for defenseman. I'm going to look at Jack Pertz and a 7th for PK Subban. That is a done deal there. PK on the move. I'm going to be very close now with the cap floor. 4, 5, 6, 7. With the Kotyuk, technically, though. Actually, don't have that many dudes because Drysdale is hurt. So Luke Prokop, we're going to have to bump you up to the NHL. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Technically need to bump up someone else. Ridley Gregg is 2 stars. Simon Taval, Thomas Bordlow. Let's give it to Ridley Gregg. Let's give him an opportunity to bump up here. We're going to be using a very young team with a lot of potential for the rest of the way. Let's see. I mean, Cam Atkinson, again, is just someone I can't even shop because of his NTCs. The question from here, I mean, we have some 32-year-olds, 2-year deals. Beauvillier is on an expiring contract. As is Quinn, Rossi, Pelletier, Mastro, Simone. Well, as much as I want to keep him, Beauvillier honestly hasn't been that good. He's just been average. See what we could get for him. Hayden Verbeek, that's an insult. David Cotton, that's an insult. Adam Masherin, Adam Brooks, Shane Bowers, who isn't that good at this point. Riley Kidney, Jake McGrew, Nick Perbix, and Henri Nikkanen. Okay, so the market for Anthony Beauvillier is nil right now. Our best bet would be to look at the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Pittsburgh Penguins, the best team in the league. Let's look at Tampa and say, hey, what would you want? What would you want for Anthony Beauvillier and a slightly used Cam Atkinson? Cam Atkinson doesn't want to go. God damn it, Cam. Are you serious? Bastard. What if we try to send you to Pittsburgh instead? Not a cool move from Cam Atkinson there. Let's try to send him to Pittsburgh instead. Okay, Cam. Jesus. Contract. I mean, it's just an outright no trade clause. I mean, he can say where he wants to go and where he doesn't. Who else was towards the top of the standings? St. Louis, Edmonton, and Florida. Do you want to go to Edmonton? I feel like I should have known the answer to that. Do you want to go to Florida? Do you want to go to St. Louis? I have a hunch Cam Atkinson doesn't want to go anywhere. How about back to CBJ? Alright, I think we're stuck with Cam Atkinson. Yeah, okay, so the Atkinson gets to be... He gets to be a talisman for this team because he's not leaving. So then the question is, who else do we shop? I mean, like I said, we have some veterans who are useful. I might shop Nikita Hatyuk because he's not that good. And I mean, the big issue... I'm going to shop him just to see what we could get. The big issue with him is that I couldn't send him down before. A lot of teams are interested. Luke Tuck, who is nowhere near as good. Dolby Namala, who, again, nowhere near as good. He's pretty close, but not quite there. Totally Spanish, who's on the Bruins. I would die. I'd be so happy. Jake Wise, Jake McCabe, Adam Edstrom, Henry Wilson. It was worth looking, but call it a hunch. I don't think we're going to be exchanging 3-star for 3-star at this rate, fortunately. But it was worth taking a look. Hello, never mind, Ethan Del Mastro. He's a little bit worse, but he's also 2 years younger, and he could be sent down to the minors, no problem. Okay. Cody Wild, Evgeny Dodonov. So, I mean, I guess that would be the question, is take a look at a Hatyuk, see how good or bad he's been, and then make that decision. Chris Letang, Jacob Bernard Docker. He's basically in the same boat, though. Eamon Powell, Dan Heinen. Well, I think we have our move, if there's a move to be made. Looks like it. So Ethan Del Mastro. He's only a star. He's a half-star worse at 2 years younger. Hatyuk does have 5 points in 22 games. Very good defensive ratings in the hitting, positioning, stick checking, and good balance. Del Mastro. Ooh. Good stick checking, good offensive read and shooting range. I think we make that deal. Again, it's just swapping a 3.5-star for a 3.5-star, but what we gain with Del Mastro is the ability to send him down, which we can't do with Hatyuk. So I'm actually going to take that. And Hatyuk was a waiver pickup as well, so I like that option to get Del Mastro onto the team. So now our defense here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So Prokop right now, as it stands, is going to be playing defense on this team. I think we're going to want to go out and sign a veteran or two off the free agent list to play defense for us for the rest of the year. Ryan Getzlaf is also a free agent right now, which is incredibly sad. So, like Joel Edmondson, complete and total nerd, but it could be him. There aren't too many veterans that are out of work. So let's go ahead and sign Joel Edmondson. Again, complete nerd. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's glitching out a little bit. Right now we have about 14 million in cap space. So to be honest, I'm going to do the same thing that I do in NHL. And that is just give someone a ridiculous amount of money. So I'm going to give Edmondson a $5 million offer for the rest of this season just to take up a shitload of cap space. And he immediately signed that. And let's go for Chris Weidman, not former UFC middleweight champion. Let's go ahead. Nope, didn't want that. Let's go 1 year. And let's just make it like 5 mil. Yeah. Cool. There we go. Sign a couple of veterans to take up a shitload of cap space. Let's look at the roster. So we're going to send Pertz down to the AHL. We're going to send Mastro down to the AHL. And potentially even Prokop here. So there we go. Now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with Edmondson. Yeah, there we go. With Weidman, we're good. So that at least, makes the defense a little bit more manageable. It does kind of suck that Jamie Drysdale's hurt, but what are you gonna do? So the big question now, can't shop any more players today. Let's move forward another day. Got the Edmondson and Weidman deals done. So at least we know, this season we're waving the white flag again. We did that last year and still made the playoffs, which was hilarious. Almost won in the first round. But yeah, this year, same thing. Just tear it down, build it back up. Josh Morrissey for Leo, St. Michel. Again, we are probably going to shop Ovi as well. The big one on the injury list is Ovi, who's now day-to-day. But we might not be able to move him depending on his clauses. No movement, no trade, Santa. Oh, goodness. Okay. So again, there wasn't really a good offer out there for Beauvillier. You could have argued pairing Beauvillier with the other dude would have been a good idea. With like Hotyuk, we could still do that. And pair Beauvillier with someone. But Cam Atkinson's just not going to move. So he's going to be holding down a roster spot due to the cap for the rest of the season. So from there it comes down to like, okay, OEL and Letty are both 32, but they've both been good. Do we make a move or not? AJ, I'd be very happy. I just don't know how they'd do it. Cam Fowler as well. One of these guys where it's like, okay, good player for us, but is it worth getting rid of him? The answer's probably yes, right? Let's at least shop Oliver Ekman-Larsson. See what the offer would be. Holy offers. Josh Brook is an insult. Even though he is younger. Not as good. The potential's up there. Justin Schultz is a no. Rudy Balsers is a no. Pius Suter. John Merrill. Austin Rushoff. Austin Wagner. Philip Hedl. No. Ron Rupsoff, Adam Brooks, Eric Foley, third rounder. A third rounder for OEL. You could debate the value of that. Another third rounder. Dmitry Kulikov, Gustav Nyquist. Yeah. So right now it's like, okay, we could get a third rounder, maybe like a second or a first if we pair him with who's got his name? Beauvillier. But right now, for the most part, there is just not much out. Hello, Patrick Thomas. All right. Well, I like Oliver Ekman-Larsson a lot, but he's 32. Patrick Thomas hasn't played much this year between CBJ and Cleveland. Not particularly great at anything, but again, we'd be banking on future potential over, a solid defenseman right now in OEL. We'd also get a fourth rounder in the deal, which is amazing. Patrick Thomas and a fourth round pick from Columbus in exchange for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. The deal is done. That is way too good to pass up. I like the OEL a lot, but that had to be done. Let's go ahead and shop Nick Letty. Yeah, I can't shop Nick Letty. I'm going to guess Letty and Atkinson are just going to be the type that don't want to leave. Cam Fowler. What can we get for Cam Fowler? Tyler Toffoli, David Cotton, Duncan Keith, Yegor Rykov. AJ, I'm not sure. I could revisit that. Mikula, a third rounder from Buffalo. Gadjevich, third rounder from the Islanders. The third rounder from Buffalo is more valuable. Kalikov, Damien Riat, third rounder from Edmonton. Brendan Dillon, Hugh McGing, Steenbergen. Yeah, we're going to do that. I know some people are going to argue what his potential showing up as right now. Cam Fowler back to Anaheim for Trevor Zegras. Okay. Now, I know some people are going to argue that 3.5. He does have 40 points in 53 AHL games this year. He is a stud offensively. Thank you very much, Anaheim. Done deal. Love Cam Fowler. Have a Cam Fowler jersey, but he is now gone as well. For obvious reasons. Trevor Zegras, welcome to the team. Let's send Thomas back to Hamilton for the rest of the season. So the defense is now Letty Addison, Cholowski, Edmondson, Weidman. Gonna have to call Prokop back up. Because again, Drysdale is hurt. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the argument of do you call up Del Mastro? I mean, Liam Ross is 22. I'm kind of cool with just letting him be the healthy scratch right now. Trevor Zegras, welcome to the team. Anybody else to shop? I mean, we're going full fire sale here at this point. William Karlsson. Not allowed to shop him because of his trade options here. Ilya Mikheyev has been a pretty damn solid player for us here, but it's almost worth it. Flying V, feel free to check out my pinned tweet on the Twitters. That's twitter.com/Twiggy24. Be the first tweet that you see. Can even get you a nifty little discount on this as well. But it's available on Steam. It's available on the OOTP Developments site itself. So the only issue that we're having right now with this fire sale is just that some players obviously don't want to go. It's the only issue that we're having. So like Atkinson, Letty, William Karlsson, they don't have to be traded manually. I like Ilya Mikheyev. He's been solid this season. But we might as well see what we can get for him. Kale Fleury's not exactly going to cut it. Balsers, Kurashev, Fetch, Richards, Mikey Anderson, Lukas Sveshkovsky. He is 22. 3-star, but he is 22. That would just be making us worse. Third rounder from Buffalo. Cloud. Not really seeing the deal. That was the defenseman, Sebastian Aho, for the record, I hope. Neil Heineman. Yeah, didn't really see the deal there. I mean, a third-round pick for Mikheyev. 22 points in 48 games. He's probably worth keeping at that rate. I guess the big one's going to be Ovi. And what happens from there. Let's go back to the free agent center here. We have a lot of cap space. Let's go ahead and bring in Ryan Getzlaf. Wants a no movement clause, which is fine. Let's just overspend to bring in Getz for the rest of this season. No problem there. We just need players to actually play. Adam Ernie as well. We are going to look to bring back here for this remainder of the season. And in terms of how close Ovi is to the Gretzky record, unfortunately he's at 809. So he's second all time. But due to some missed time, he's not quite there yet. So yeah, not really a concern of like, oh, is he going to break the record in a Kraken uniform? Alright, so right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Alright, so we do have to drop a couple of players. Yeah, his time in New Jersey did him no favors. The big thing I'm seeing here is Ratu's still showing up as 2-star. He has 6 points in 37 games. We're actually going to send Ratu back to Karpat for the rest of the season. It's clear that he's not ready for prime time here. We're also going to drop Ridley Gregg down to the bitch pigeons here. Let's move forward another day. Again, waiting to see what happens with Ovi and waiting to see if there's anybody that we can kind of move here. We have activated Alex Ovechkin. Are we allowed to shop him? No, we're not. So we do have some players that we could shop, or that we could manually move, but there's nobody left that we could shop ourselves with that quick little feature there. So Ovi doesn't want to leave. Ovi's staying for the rest of the year. We can't move him. Yeah, Ovi's not going to move. Cam Atkinson's not going to move. Nick Leddy's not going to move. William Karlsson is not going to move. So the only guy we could move that actually has some value is Anthony Beauvillier. He's been an incredible disappointment this year, if I'm being honest. He is the only guy that we could really look to move here. We'll see if we can move him back to the Islanders, just to get him where he belongs. But yeah, Beauvillier is the only guy that we could look to move here. In terms of the Islanders' prospect pool, it doesn't look particularly deep. They did end up signing Barkov, who's currently hurt. They do have Joachim Kamel. Obviously, there's no chance in hell that we're going to get him. What about Bryce McConnell Barker? No. You know, we might as well just hold on to Beauvillier here, or just take one of the offers for him. I don't think we're going to get anything great for him. But we do know the likes of Ovi is staying for the rest of the year. So our defense now, Leddy doesn't want to go, so it's Leddy, Addison, Cholowski. You could make the argument. I mean, so at this point, like, our goaltending is fine. Right, like, we got nothing to worry about here. Högberg has been great. Our goaltending is going to be good. Nick Leddy doesn't want to go. Addison's 23, can still get a little bit better, has 23 points in 49 games. Cholowski, I mean, 23 points in 48 games. He's not going to get much better, but he is a useful defenseman. Prokop, no real reason to get rid of him. Again, we got like Del Mastro or other prospects here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yeah, have Liam Ross, I guess, just kind of sitting there. Forward-wise, again, we can shop Mikheyev and Beauvillier if we just want to get like a third or a fourth back. Nothing major, but we could get rid of them. Maybe not the worst option in the world to look at shopping them again. Cam Atkinson doesn't want to leave. I'm gonna technically, just for the hell of it, shop Patrick Laine, just to see what the offers would be and if they'd actually be any decent. And the answer appears to be no, as our first option was Tyler Toffoli, Sean Monahan, who's in Boston, Alex Nylander, Jake McCabe, Philip Deneau, worth it. Eriksson Ek, Kenny Malkin. A lot of people don't appear to be interested in Patrick Laine. Martin Necas, who, I mean, developed into a good player, but nothing amazing. Braden Tracy in a 6th. Well, it looks like we're keeping Laine. It was It was worth looking. I think we're pretty much done. I mean, really, in terms of like any kind of crazy moves, I'm gonna keep Mikheyev, but we will shop Beauvillier one more time and just look to move on from him because he hasn't done anything special. Just the best we can get for him will do. And unfortunately, it's really going to be nothing special here. Yikes. Honestly, I mean, maybe in a few days we'll take that Neil Pionk offer. 2 players on the active roster. Definitely going to send down a forward. So Trevor Zegra is 2-star. Mastro Simone's better than that. I guess it'll be Trevor Zegra that we send down to the AHL. Alright, Scheifele signs an extension in Winnipeg. That's the other thing I think we have to look at here, would be the contract extensions. We'll do that soon. For whoever wanted to see the sim here against Tampa, it at least gives us a chance to look at our line. So we have Mikheyev, Carlson, Line A, Ovechkin, Rossi, Quinn, Beauvillier, Nemesnikov, Pelletier, Ernie, Mastro, Simone, and Getzlaf. Defense is Leddy and Addison. Cholowski, Weidman, Edmondson, Prokop. So we are tanking for the rest of the way. Isaiah Saville between the pipes. Again, we could quick sim it. In terms of anyone who was wondering kind of what this looks like. Normally we don't hit play, but you know, you do have this Football Manager style option. You could change the different speed settings. What we normally do is just quick sim a period. Steven Stamkos scores very early on, 1-0 Lightning. Stamkos scores again. 2 goals in under 6 minutes. A couple of power play calls here. And power play opportunities that we waste. So down 2-0 here. Bullock got into a fight. A lot of penalties here at this stage. Not a very clean game at all. And it'll be 2-0 Tampa heading into the third. Can we get a goal? Stamkos gets the hat trick. That is a very... Stamkos! 4 goals! Sergachev makes it 5. Johnson makes it 6. We got pooped on. As planned. 4-goal game for Steven Stamkos. Hugo Alnefelt with the shutout. Big yikes. If we weren't losing by design, I'd be upset. But we clearly weren't going to be a playoff team, and if we were, we weren't going to be a very good one. So we are indeed tanking. The Canucks looking at firing Todd Nelson as their head coach. Let's see what we got here. Again, in terms of shopping someone, I really think it can only be Beauvillier. I don't really know who else we move on from. I mean, I like all the prospects that we have in the system here. Nobody that's like, oh yeah, he's old enough we should try to move on from him. Not trying to shop anybody. I mean, we could shop Högberg, but I don't really want to. Or Saville. Like, we're good. We have 2 really solid goaltenders here. I mean, I could shop Högberg just to see what we'd get, Craig, but I doubt I'm going to move him here. Kyle Turris, Jake Wise, Adam Mashrin, Sirdiuk. Yeah, nothing that's worth our time. Goalie's pretty hit or miss in terms of the value. Kind of like real life. So again, the only other guy here is just to see if we can get something for Anthony Beauvillier. That's it. Can I get an offer for Beauvillier that I really like? Otherwise, we might as well just hold on to him for the rest of the year. Francesco Pinelli. Kitchener Ranger fans would be happy. Honestly, getting Pinelli is not the worst option in the world. 51 points in 34 games in the O. Not the highest rated prospect in the world, but I think I'm going to take this. We'll get Pinelli from Tampa in exchange for Anthony Beauvillier, whose deal is up and who hasn't been really all that good this season. We'll send Pinelli down now to the old Rain City Bitch Pigeons. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 forwards. We really don't need 14. We could call somebody back up if we wanted to. It would probably be Zigra. I think we're okay for the moment. So a diminished team, to say the least. A very diminished team. Technically, we could sign... You know, for the hell of it, let's sign Zach Kassian. Just to get that additional forward in here. We'll go ahead and pay him way too much money. Like $3 million. We're obviously not going to move him. And that way Zach Kassian's on this roster. Just to play out the season. Maybe he can raise his stock enough that somebody signs. But right now, I mean, again, you know, we have 3 5-star prospects in Rosen, Ratu, and Nemesnikov. We're looking pretty good. 2 first-round picks. I want to check to see if there are any unsigned prospects with rights expiring. Well, I mean, if there are players with rights expiring, I'm just going to sign them, you know? The problem is, obviously, right, like, I can't sign players right now. That's the next thing we have to do, is double-check who we're signing and who we're letting go of. You could argue that shopping these guys with, like, 1.5-star potential is the way to go. I'm kind of intrigued to see if they improve for us at all. Like, Alpha Berry, 30 points in 34 games. Actually, I'm intrigued, for the hell of it. Just if we were to shop you... Not allowed to, because you're not signed. That's fine. Alright, yeah, we should be fine. Like I said, the big thing now will be double-checking contracts that are coming up. Which... I mean, again, Isaiah Savel's good. Marcus Hogberg is good. Bouthelier would need to be re-signed. He's 24 years old, 1.5 stars, 3-star prospect. Honestly, I'm going to shop him just to see what the hell we might get. Because this dude's clearly not going to make it. Oscar Steen, Pius Suter, Dawson Barteau. 2.5-star random-ass forward prospect. Might be better than just having a goalie that's not going to make it. Adam Raska. Oh boy. I mean, we might as well get someone who might have an outside chance of being half decent. I'm going to take that deal for Bouthelier. And then again, 24 though. He might have a chance. Maybe not. We'll stick with it. Let's go ahead and re-sign him. On the verge of trading him. We will go ahead and sign him to what he's asking for. Alex DeOrio, 2-star goalie prospect. We're just going to drop him at the end of this. Carl Lindbaum, we're going to want to sign at the end of this. And Drew DeRitter will probably also drop. I'm sure we can find different options here. DeOrio's not going to be that good. Drysdale's fine. Letty's fine. Kalen Addison's fine. Dennis Cholowski is going to need a new deal. He's looking for dirt cheap options. We'll try to re-sign him. Mastro Domenico will obviously need to be signed starting June 23rd. Prokop is fine. Weidman we can drop. Del Mastro's fine. Conan's fine. Liam Ross is fine. Bianconi is fine. And this random dude that we just brought back, he's fine. Ovi. I guess the big question is, do we want to try to renew the contract of Alex Ovechkin? What do you guys think? For those of you who are sticking with us here. Well, it's about $6 million for the next season. Do we just let Ovi walk, or do we look to bring him back? I mean, we're going to need players to take up money. He has 23 points in 36 games this season, just 12 goals. So, I mean, 23 and 36, but his goal-scoring touch has fallen off a cliff. I mean, again, I can't get rid of him. He has a no trade clause. It's just, do we want to re-sign him for next year? Trevor Zegras, we're going to need to re-sign heading into next year. Adam Ernie's going to be dropped. Ridley Gregg is fine. Chromiak is fine. Blake Murray is fine. Marco Rossi needs a new deal. $5 million for Marco Rossi. Well, there goes the Ovechkin money. Just to keep Marco Rossi happy. Jesus. Mastro Simone needs a new deal. Looking for over $1 million. Thomas Bordlow's fine. Stranges is good. Mizak's good. Dickinson, Jack Finley, Pinelli. Patrick Thomas is fine. Graham Clark is fine. Most of these players we don't even have to worry about. Ryan Francis. McLennan's good. Simon Taval's good. Pelletier is going to need a new deal. $3 million for him. Isaac Rosen is fine. Jack Quinn needs a new deal. It's going to be $3 million from him. You know, yeah, all of a sudden, it is a question now of how much money are we going to have heading into next season. Check everybody needs to know with the dollar sign. Wait. Looks like a guy with a dollar. Oh, this one. That's right. I always forget about that. I always forget about this goddamn menu. But I feel like this doesn't show the unsigned prospects. And that was the trouble that we got in last time for him. Is that I feel like it didn't show, you know, guys who were about to expire. And that's how we ended up losing Ottinger. Let's move forward a day here. Make sure certain dudes sign. We do need to name new captains. Go to the mental side of things. The leadership group. Ovi is the captain. Let's go with Getzlaff and Atkinson as the alternates. Doesn't show unsigned prospects. Yes, that's what I thought. It's just it's a bit of a pain in the ass to do it from that other menu, but I don't mind. Pelletier signs, Rossi signs, Bouthelier, Cholowski, Mastro Simone, Quinn and Zegras, all signed. So yeah, I guess that'll be the big question then, is what do we do with Ovi? Everyone else is a pure rental. Just do we look to bring back Ovi for about $6 million? The question is, who could be out there that we could go for? But we got a long way to go this season. Obviously, a lot of simming to do. This roster is now significantly worse, certainly by design. We have a lot of younger players in the lineup here still, but the addition of Trevor Zegras is going to be very nice. Adding, Jakob Pelletier, very nice as well. So I like what we're dealing with. Even if we don't bring Ovechkin back, even if we do, I should say, we're still going to be very well set up, from what I can tell. In terms of cap space, it looks like, I mean, right now it's showing us with $16 million in cap space. Heading into next year, we have $26 million in cap space. Yeah, we're going to have $26 million in cap space. So, what would that be? What was Ovi looking for? 6? So about 20 million? 19, 20 million in cap space if we do sign Ovi? Yeah, it's not a bad option. There aren't too many players that are getting paid big money. You know what, we'll sleep on it. We'll sleep on it. The big decision, do we attempt to keep Alex Ovechkin? I mean, I don't know if he's going to break the record with the Kraken because his scoring really has dropped, but it could be a shot. And having a veteran Ovi next to, like, Rossi, Nemesnikov, Laine, Quinn, Rosen, like, is not a bad captain to have here down the, down the stretch of his career. So, we'll see what happens. I think I'm leaning towards keeping him. But, yeah, we'll see. See how it goes.